The holy grail of ab training is bending over.
You watched the first video. You added cable crunches. You're training abs basically every single day, but they still look flat. The gym huds are still calling you slurs. What? Again? No! Not what you expected. I know, I was there too. Here's the muscle you've been ignoring. You've definitely seen this pose before, and if you're like me, you probably just thought that they were just sucking in their stomach to look cool. Well, that's not exactly the case. This is called a vacuum. The first step in doing a vacuum is to bend over. Pause. Yes, really, it makes learning the vacuum a hell of a lot easier, especially since you don't know how to control that muscle yet. And then what you want to do is empty your lungs completely. So take a deep breath in, and then all the way out. Exhale as much as you can. Next, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Whenever you do that, your stomach is going to be sucked in, and you're going to feel a muscle that's never been worked before. Hold that position for 10 to 20 seconds. Let go and breathe back in. You just did one rep of a vacuum. It's that easy. Oh, but I look stupid bending over. You don't have to go doggy style. All you have to do is lean over something. You can do what I do and just lean over a table. You can lean over a kitchen top and nobody's gonna know what you're doing. Vacuums aren't just for strength. Vacuums develop a drawn-in waist habitually. Over time, this literally reduces resting waist size. You're gonna walk around the beach and all the beach hugs are gonna look at you with your sucked in stomach. They're gonna think you're leaner than what you actually are. But you didn't lose any fat. It's just structural control. You've seen those old Hollywood actresses with tiny waists. That was a corset. It tightened from the outside in. Well, guess what? Our bodies also have corsets. The TVA, the transversus abdominis, aka the human body's internal corset. It tightens from the inside out. Most guys spend 5+ years training a muscle that shows and completely ignore what makes everything else look better. For example, cable crunches build the exterior. They build the six-pack abs, aka the rectus abdominis. Can't have an exterior without interior walls. Vacuums build the internal structure. I've been lifting for over 5 years, and I first learned about vacuums about like 3 months ago. I was watching ab training videos on YouTube and I just saw some guy rambling on about vacuums. So I tried it and I was like, damn, that shiz was really good. I felt a muscle that I've never felt before. So I started looking more into it and I found out that this guy also trained his TVA. You probably know that guy. His name is motherfucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold trained his TVA every single morning. Training his TVA is how he got his super tight waistline, not because he spammed a bunch of cable crunches. The TVA gives the illusion of a tighter waist, and Arnold knew about this. In fact, Arnold wasn't the only one. Most of the golden era bodybuilders also knew about this. Here's Frank Zane holding a vacuum. It literally looks like his torso is floating above his head. Nowadays in the modern era, the vacuums aren't as common and it's kind of problematic. It's what leads to this steroid bubble gut effect thingy. I don't really know the technical term for it, but it just looks hideous. It just does not look good in any capacity to have a gut that sticks out like a beer gut, but it also kind of looks like you have abs. But it also looks like you have a beer gut. It's just like, what? Why would you want that? Me and you, we don't want that. If you want that, bro, just get out of here. What we want to do is to be like Arnold. So the first thing that you need to do is the vacuums exercise. A pro tip, do this on an empty stomach. This is literally pushing your stomach backwards. So if you have food in your stomach, you're gonna feel a little sick. Oh, but I can't feel anything when I suck my belly back. Well, use your hand to push your belly back. It's gonna take like 1 to 2 sessions of doing vacuums before you can do this on your own. You literally don't have the mind-muscle connection yet, and that is okay. Once you get good at vacuums, you can now do them standing up. You don't have to do them bending over. It's kind of like a progressive overload variation. And speaking of progressive overload, you have to increase your hold time from session to session. It is still a muscle. You want the muscle to get better. You want the muscle to get stronger. And the next TVA exercise is the long lever planks. Oh, but I thought that planks suck. Yes, they do suck if it's the only ab exercise you do. The long lever plank is just a progressive overload variation of the short lever plank. The only difference between the long lever plank and the short lever plank is the position of your elbows. In the long lever plank, you want your elbows to be towards your ears. This literally creates a longer lever, thus creating more torque on your core, thus making it harder to do. Thus, you're gonna get more gain. If you can't hold a regular short lever plank for 30 seconds, that's okay. First, master it. Hold it for 30 seconds. And then next session, move your elbows 1 inch higher. Hold that for 30 seconds. And then next session, move it 1 inch higher. Use this as a progressive overload variation so that you can get to the long lever plank. And just a side note, if this hurts your lower back, that probably means that your hips are dropping, your hips are sagging. Squeeze your ass and pull it back up and tilt your pelvis forward slightly. And the next TVA exercise is the motherfucking ab wheel. Vacuums build the TBA's ability to contract. The long lever planks build the static endurance. The ab wheel trains the TVA through dynamic movement. It's the missing bridge between the first two exercises. If you haven't tried the ab wheel before, the ab wheel works the TVA and the rectus abdominis like hell. There are two variations to the ab wheel. The first one is on your knees. That's what the girl over here on the right is doing. It's basically like a girl's push-up. You do it on your knees, you roll the ab wheel as far as you comfortably can, and then some more, and then use your abs to roll the ab wheel back. Make sure not to use your arms to roll it back, especially not to use your lats to roll the ab wheel back. Use your abs. And the more advanced variation is on your toes. This one is way harder. In fact, anytime I try to do the toes version, I can't do it. I just slam my face onto the floor. An even easier variation to the ab wheel, or if you don't have access to an ab wheel, you can do ab walkouts. This is the same thing. You can do it on your knees or on your toes. Knees is easier, toes is harder, but you use your hands. You use your hands to walk forward, hold that position, and then you walk backwards. If you want someone to build this exact routine to your body and your schedule, I do one-on-one coaching calls. Calendly link is the top link in the description, but everything that you need to do this yourself is in this video. So here it is, the complete TVA training system. It has which exercises to do, how many sets, how many reps, and what is the frequency for each exercise. Follow this system and you're gonna get a snatched waist. So an action step for you: next morning, before eating anything, you have to bend over. Bend over on the ground, or you can bend over a desk. Do 1 set of vacuums, 5 holds for 10 seconds each. That's it. First time you do it, you're gonna feel a muscle that you've never felt before. Part 3 of this ab training series is going to cover what happens to your abs on a cut specifically. And when we hit 500 subscribers, I'm gonna drop a complete guide on how I built my abs with all the information from part 1, 2, and 3 in one place. Subscribe so you don't miss it. You know what to do. Get up and get after it.